bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So the definition of Mahatma is given here. Satatam kirtayanto mam. You know the definition of a sadhu Mahatma. We say sadhu Mahatma, right? Sadhu Mahatma, sadhu Mahatma. Sadhu or Mahatma, the definition is the actual features, like the main primary characteristic is that it must be a devotee. A devotee of Krishna is called as a sadhu Mahatma. Being very equanimous, being silent, being calm, all of these are the external characteristics, you see. So here it is said satatam kirtayanto mam. This is the qualification of a sadhu. Any devotee of Krishna is called sadhu. Yatantascha dhradavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. You see, your Bhima, he's very strong, he's violent at times, not always, but Bhima, his incarnation only is Madhvacharya. It's the next incarnation of Bhima is Madhvacharya. So we cannot. So any devotee of Krishna is actually a sadhu. Doesn't matter whether he's wearing the dress or not, right? So let us go through this. So the Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. Okay. So generally we see, it's not that we cannot just simply say, okay, this person is Mahatma. Okay, I'll give him a title Mahatma. So the Mahatma title cannot be given like that. The word Mahatma means a great soul is only reserved for a pure devotee of Krishna. Anybody who is doing this. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drudhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasana nitya yukta. Perpetually, continuously, anybody who is engaged in the worship of Krishna, such a person is called Sadhu Mahatma. Okay, not anybody else. Generally we call politicians as Mahatmas, but that is not the right thing. It's just a political name. Okay. So the only business of a Sadhu Mahatma is that he is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. And in other words, he's not an impersonalist. Here is another misconception that we have. We consider the impersonalists also to be Mahatmas or to be sadhus, but we cannot, officially they cannot be called as sadhu. In essence, they are not, because only one who is a devotee is called as a sadhu. So the thing is, the glorification must be there. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Without the glorification, an impersonalist is not glorifying continuously, right? So when the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His eternal form, His transcendental qualities and uncommon pastimes. So one has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Lord. A great Babaji Maharaj, right? We have seen so many great Babaji Maharajas are there, like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was such a great soul, right? And then we have so many great Babajis in the Parampara, who are always chanting the names of Krishna, always. Right? They're not interested in any kind of material enjoyment. They don't take the material enjoyment out of it. They don't take the, for example, if people are going to come to them and say, Babaji, please give us blessings. Babaji, please accept this. Babaji, please take this money from my side. They don't become very happy. They'll say, get out from here. Don't disturb me. Right? So that is how the great Mahatmas are. They're not interested in any adoration or them. They're not interested in their glorification, basically. It's not that they want followers. Nadhanam, najanam, nasundarim, kavitamba, jagadisha kamaya. They're not interested. If we go to sadhu and say, if we give some flattering words and give them some money, they don't become flattered. These great sadhus. Right? And then it is said, one who is attached to the impersonal feature, Brahma Jyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. Very important. There are two types of transcendentalists. One is known as Jnani, one is known as Bhakta. Jnanis are the generally impersonalist. They have impersonal mindset. And they are also described in the next verse. We see they are mentioned, but Krishna doesn't say Mahatma namstu mam partha, or he doesn't praise them in the way how he's praising the devotees. So they're described in a different way. We'll see that. Another important point is Mahatma is always engaged in different devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedaram. Iti pumsarpitam Vishnu bhakti che navalakshana. In this verse also, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, that is the transcendental activities when we do Shravana Kirtana, etc. There also it is mentioned Vishnu 2 times. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu means unto Vishnu. Again it says Vishnu. Second time it comes Vishnu. Iti pumsarpitam Vishnu. Again Vishnu. So bhakti, devotion is for Vishnu. So the definition of bhakti is Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. If you engage our senses in the master of the senses, Rishikesha, that is called bhakti. Even if we see, we have Narada Bhakti Sutras. For Jnana, knowledge, we have the Vedanta Sutra. For Bhakti, we have Bhakti Sutras by Narada. So in that also it is explained, the same Narada Bhakti Sutras, Narada is explaining Bhakti. Bhakti means devotion to Krishna. Following the Shravanam Kirtanam, these 9 activities of devotional service. So Mahatma is always firmly fixed in these 9 devotional services. Right? So that is what it is. And then it is also, it's very nice. It says in the devotional service, this is very important. We have come to the crux, the most important verse, I would say. Because this is exactly describing the pure devotional service. This is what we are aspiring to be. We aspire to be pure devotee. We aspire to be the servant of a pure devotee. Okay, so we are in this path. So the path is, in devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and the appearance day of the Lord. So we fast on Ekadashis, we fast on Janmashtami, on Narsimha Chaturdashi, all of this, Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance day, like that, Gaura Purnima, like that. So, and then all these rules and regulations are offered by the great Acharyas. And the Mahatmas strictly observe these rules, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. We are following the footsteps of these Mahatmas. And as long as we are following the footsteps of these Mahatmas, we are sure to get the result. It is guaranteed. All we have to do is faithfully follow the footsteps of these Mahatmas. Now, one very important point. As described in the second verse of the chapter, not only this devotional service is easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. It's not that devotees are fretting and feeling very bad, feeling disgusted about Ekadashi. They're very happy. They very joyfully receive Ekadashi. So when the day Ekadashi comes, they feel, oh wow, very nice. It's a very nice day. And they become very joyful. Susukam kartuvavyayam, pratyakshavagavam dharmyam. So there's no need of doing any severe penances or austerities. You see, in Buddhism and in the Monism, there is an excessive emphasis on the tapasya. And that kind of tapasya is slightly different. It's not devotional tapasya. It is very strict and it's too much. It's too much of tapasya. And it is not like that. It is susukam, because we are doing it for Krishna and we are doing in the community of devotees. For example, we did Bhishma Panchak. How many of you did Bhishma Panchak? Please raise your hands. Bhishma Panchak. Devotees who did Bhishma Panchak? Yeah, I'm seeing some devotees. Yeah, very nice. Prem Kunti Mataji did. So how was it? Was it easy for you? Was it very difficult? Mataji, I want to hear from you.
Prabhuji, it was quite easy for me to do it.
Yeah.
Because we could eat now, Prabhuji. We had those roots and fruits.
Yeah, we had roots and fruits.
Yes,
Right.
so it was, and taking in between, Prabhuji, after every 2 hours, I was taking something. So it was okay, Prabhuji.
Correct. And there are some people who do the first level of fasting also. You know what I mean? Do you know what is the first level of fasting of?
Yes, Prabhuji, taking that cow dung and then taking cow
Yes.
moose and something like that, cow milk.
Yeah,
and
on the
something.
first day,
Yes.
you're supposed to take cow urine. First day, cow milk. Second day, cow curd. Third day, cow urine, something like that. Okay. Fourth day, cow dung and something like that. Okay. So there's some people, they managed to do it in Mayapur also. There's some people who are doing it. Okay. In any case, we have done the second level fasting. It was like about having the eating groundnuts and aloo, etc. It was easy. And in the association of devotees, it becomes very easy. I mean, in that energy, devotional energy, everybody together as a community, it becomes very easy. Okay. So this is the point. Okay. All we have to do is very simple. One need not undergo any severe penance or austerity. This is a good news. I mean, this is not at all austerity. Whatever we are doing in Krishna consciousness is very mild, very light. You may be thinking, oh my God, every Ekadashi we have to fast, fast on so many days. No, it's very less. It's very light. Under the guidance of the expert spiritual master. Right? One can be a householder, sannyasi, brahmachari, any position, anywhere in the world. We have seen so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, different parts of the world, coming from different cultures. And they all have Saligrama Sila at home. They're worshipping the Lord. They're performing devotional service. They're doing fasting. They're coming to Vrindavan, once in a couple of years, like that. So they can perform devotional service and thus become Mahatma. So anybody can become a Mahatma. This is the point. So all we have to do is we have to follow the footsteps of a Mahatma and then we can become a Mahatma too. Next verse. Jnana yajnena chapyanye yajanto mam upasate ekatvena prutatvena bahuda vishvato mukham. Jnana yajnena, by the cultivation of knowledge. Cha, also, api, certainly, anye, others, yajantaha, sacrificing, mam, me, upasate, worship, ekatvena, in oneness, pritatvena, in duality, bahuda, in diversity, vishvato mukham, and in the universal form. So others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. This is a very nice purport. I would like one devotee please read this. Anybody wants to please? Yeah,
Hare
please go ahead.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Perfect. This verse is the summary of the previous verses. The Lord tells Arjuna that those who are purely in Krishna consciousness and do not know anything other than Krishna are called Mahatma. Yet there are other persons who are not exactly in the position of Mahatma, but who worship Krishna also in different ways. Some of them have already been described as the distressed, the financially destitute, the inquisitive, and those who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. But there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into three. One, he who worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord. Two, he who conquers some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that. Three, he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worships that. Out of the above three, the lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monists, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and in this mentality they worship themselves. This is also a type of God worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body, but are actually spiritual soul. At least such a sense is prominent. Generally, the impersonalists worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The second class includes the worshippers of the demigods, those who by imagination consider any form to be the form of the Supreme Lord. And the third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. They consider the universe to be the supreme organism or entity and worship that. The universe is also a form of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Organism.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just going to open this. So let's talk about different type of devotees. We can't call them devotees, but those who are worshipping Krishna in different ways. In some way they are worshipping Krishna, directly, indirectly. Okay, let's see who they are and how are they worshipping Krishna also. We'll see that. Okay. So Krishna says that Jnana yajnena chapyanye. Yet there are some others. So first of all, Krishna described about the Mahatma. Right? Mahatma. Mahatma are those who are 24/7 engaged in the kirtan of the Lord. So kirtan of the Lord, they are always chanting the glories of Krishna. They are always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They are always chanting. They are always in devotional service. They are the topmost. And then Prabhupada says, there are actually there are four kind of people who come. I mean, below that is the four kind of people who come, right? Who are the four types of people? Four types of people who surrender to Krishna. Can anybody say?
Artha,
The
Arthati,
distressed,
Jnani, and
the
inquisitive.
want of
Jigyasu,
wealth,
Jigyasu.
Jigyasu, inquisitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
the
Distressed. And then
inquisitiveness,
Artho
the want of
Artharthi,
wealth,
seeker of wealth.
wealth, one who's in knowledge, and
Yes.
one who needs some material gains.
Yes. Inquisitive. And one in knowledge. Okay. So what we have to understand here, Mahatma is a pure devotee. Okay, pure devotee means there is no deviation. I mean, worshipping Krishna, yatantascha dhruda vrataha, without any deviation, continuously, satatam kirtayantoma. There is no deviation at all. That is a Mahatma, pure devotee, right? Like the bona fide spiritual master, right? Vaishnava devotee, Mahatma, always thinking, always worshipping Krishna. Yet there are other four type of people who surrender to Krishna. One of them is distressed, seeker of wealth and inquisitive, and one in knowledge. They also get purified in the association of when these four come in association of a devotee. If they come in association of a devotee, they can also become like one pure devotee. They can also become a pure devotee. And below this, here Prabhupada is saying here, right? Below this is the third category of people who are lower than this. Right? So one, it says it's like one who worships oneself. So do you know anybody who worships oneself? Is there anybody who worships yourself? Put your own picture.
Hiranyakashipu.
Yes?
Hiranyakashipu.
Hiranyakashipu. Okay. Yeah, put your own picture and worship it. But not in that way. Not in that way. But this is like they consider that they do not see the distinction between their Atma and Paramatma. They see that Atma, Paramatma are one. See, we are part and parcel of Krishna, right? We are also spiritual, right? So it is like they try to worship themselves, means their self, not really their body, okay, their self, okay? This is the lowest. They are worshipping their own self. They are generally the Mayavadis, impersonalists, who worship, I mean, they do not see any difference between the Supreme Lord and themselves. And they consider that they themselves are Supreme Lord. Their argument is, I am only Krishna, I forgot, now I remember that I am Krishna. So devotional Acharya argument, or what is their instruction is, I am servant of Krishna, I have forgotten that I am servant of Krishna, now I have to remember that I am servant of Krishna and I have to resume my service. Okay, this is the difference. They say, I am only Krishna, I have forgotten, and now I am doing this Leela. So my Leela is, once our Guru Maharaj said once, he met one Mayavad sannyasi, okay? Mayavadi means impersonalist. He believes that he is only God. So Guru Maharaj asked him, why do you consider that yourself as God? He says, yes, I am only God. But then you are getting old, right? How are you getting old? You are getting sick. Then that Mayavad sannyasi said, it is my Leela. So it is my Leela to become old. It is my Leela to become sick. It is my Leela to go to the barber shop, get shaving done. This is my Leela. This is nonsense, right? Going to the hospital is a Leela. It's not a Leela. So it is, it is ignorance, that's it. But still, it is said here, Prabhupada is saying, it's still okay, because indirectly you are worshipping Krishna, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Somewhere this person is thinking spiritually that I am not the body. At least in some conception, he is not considering that he is the body, like the Buddhist, right? He's thinking, okay, I am the soul, okay, I am soul. The soul is spiritual, the soul is divine, so let me worship the soul. So like that, so okay, in some way it fits still here. Okay, that's why Krishna is mentioning, one who worships himself. The second person is who worships the demigods. So worshipper of demigods as Vishwato Bahu. One minute, this is loka here. It says
Pritatvena.
Pritatvena, Ekatvena Pritatvena. Yes, Mats, thank you. Pritatvena means worshipping demigods. So their conception is like this. This is very it's common in India. They say God is absolute truth. Okay, there is one absolute truth. Absolute truth. This absolute truth is taking different forms. This is form number 1. This is form number 2. Form number 3. Form number 4. For example, absolute truth is 1. We don't know who it is. That absolute truth has taken form of Krishna. That absolute truth has taken the form of Ganesha, Durga, Shiva, like that. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is not saying, I am the form of the absolute truth. He is not saying absolute truth is there is somebody called absolute truth, Parabrahman, and I am the form. I am taken one form. Like that, there are many forms of mine. He didn't say that. He said, I am the absolute truth. Isn't it? Krishna is saying, I am the absolute truth and everybody is subordinate to me. But their conception is that Krishna is also one of the forms of the absolute truth. So they worship the demigods as if they are worshipping the Supreme Lord. So that's called Prutatvena, Ekatvena. This is Ekatvena, this is Prutatvena. Worshipping multi-forms, different forms of the Lord, considering it to be the transformation of the absolute truth. They think that absolute truth has no form, it is formless. But this is also wrong because Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha. And Krishna is saying, I am only the absolute truth. There's nothing, there's no truth superior to me. But they out of ignorance, they think like that. Okay, they're at some level. Okay, some level, they're worshipping the demigods. And so what is happening here is they're indirectly worshipping Krishna. So this is Krishna. But actually Krishna is absolute truth. So they directly or indirectly, they're worshipping Krishna. So that's called, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the verse will come. Right? He says, Avidhi Purvakam. Avidhi Purvakam means in a wrong way. Krishna says, those who are worshipping the demigods, they are also worshipping me only. They are also worshipping me only. If we worship Ganesha, Shiva, we are worshipping Krishna. But Avidhi Purvakam. Avidhi Purvakam means not in the proper way. Not in the proper way. Okay? So we should do Vidhi Purvakam. Vidhi Purvakam means the way, the devotees or the Mahatmas are telling, we should follow the Mahajanas, Mahatmas. How they are telling, we should follow them. How they are saying we should worship like that. The third one is worship oneself, worship demigods, and worship the universal form. So these are like universal form is the material form of the Lord, which is a temporary form of the Lord. Or in other words, they worship the universe. The universe which is non-different from Krishna. I told you this, right? So we said that, Lord Krishna, from Krishna, many universes come. Okay, infinite universes come. So each of this universe, if you consider, it is a separated material energy of Krishna. It is the energy of Krishna nevertheless, but separated. So there is a Achintya Beda, there is a qualitative oneness also between the universe and the Krishna. So there are some people who worship the universe or the universal form because they cannot see anything beyond it. They say, I will worship only whatever I can see. Because I can see all the nature, I can see rains, I can see sun, I can see the universe, I can see birth, death happening. So this universe, I believe in the universe, I'll worship the universal form. So they are one category. There are some people who say, no, we worship the demigods because we believe absolute truth is formless. And absolute truth has taken different forms as demigods, and let me worship these demigods themselves as the absolute truth. So that is one, worship of the demigods. And then the worship of oneself, ahangropasana, thinking that, I am actually Krishna and I've forgotten, something like that, okay? So that's what is explained here. So that's what is given here. So here, those who concoct, okay, he who worships, let's see this. Some of them are already described as financial, the four type of devotees, and then we have he who worships himself as the Supreme Lord, as one with the Supreme Lord. He who concocts some form of Supreme Lord worships that. He who accepts the universal form Vishwarupa and worships that. Out of the three, the lowest, those who worship themselves as Supreme Lord are most prominent. This is the Mayavadis. They are following the Mayavada Siddhanta. They are the most predominant in India. You will find most people who subscribe to this philosophy, and because of this kind of a mindset, there have been so many fake sadhu babas and all who have claimed to be I am only God. They say I am God. I've realized that I'm God right now. You are also God, but you have not realized at the moment. So until you realize that you are God, you worship me. Then you will realize that you are God. So this is all nonsensical kind of a theory. Okay, there is nowhere in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is saying this kind of thing to Arjuna, that you are also me, I am also you. What is this? You worship me so that I will become you, you will become me. It's nothing like that. Krishna is Krishna, Arjuna is Arjuna. Okay, God is God, devotee is devotee. Devotee's only activity is to worship Krishna. It is not to merge with Krishna, to become Krishna, to compete with Krishna, to replace Krishna. That is not the purpose of devotional service. The purpose is only to serve Krishna. God is eternally present. We are also eternally present. Okay. Let's go to the next verse. Aham kratur aham yajna swadaham aham aushadam mantroham aham evajyam aham agnir aham hutam. So we'll see the different words. Kratu means Vedic ritual. Aham means I. Yajna means smriti sacrifice. Swadha oblation. Aushadam means healing herb. Mantra means transcendental chant. Ajyam means melted butter, that is ghee. Agni, fire. Huta means offering. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Okay. I want any devotee to please read the purport.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please.
Okay, translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. The Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotishottama is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagna mentioned in the Smriti. The oblations offered to the Pitraloka or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitraloka, considered as a king of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifices are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the 5 material elements and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or in other words, those who are engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So you see, this is a very powerful verse, right? Aham kratur aham yajna swadaham aham aushadam mantroham aham evajyam aham agnir aham hutam. The word aham has come so many times. 1, 2, 3. How many times aham has come? Can anybody count and tell? How many times did aham repeat?
6 times, Prabhuji.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, I the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, I the butter and the fire of the offering. So, when you're doing fire sacrifices, the different types of fire sacrifices, among the fire sacrifices, the best among the fire sacrifices is said to be Jyotishtoma Homa. This is all Karma Kanda rituals, okay? Actually, the Vedas are filled with Karma Kanda section. There's Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda, 3. Karma Kanda is the majority, 80%, 90%. If you actually, a lot of people, they want to buy Vedas, right? They go and say, okay, when they see books, Vedas, they get very excited, they buy Vedas and they start reading. But they get confused also because these Vedas will be containing mantras. What mantras? Karma Kanda mantras. A majority part of the Vedas is Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means ritualistic fire sacrifices, which are meant for certain purposes, different purposes. Right? So, if you want to understand the Vedas, that's not the approach to understand the Vedas, not by reciting Vedas. The correct approach to understand the Vedas is Veda is cha sarvair aham eva vedyo. The correct way to understand Vedas is Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Acharyavan Purusho Veda means when you surrender to a spiritual master, then the purport of the Vedic knowledge will start to reveal. Yasya deve parabhakti tasya deve Tata Guru. when we worship Krishna, Guru and Krishna, then the purport of the Vedas will start to reveal itself from within. When we read the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Veda is cha sarvair ahameva vedyo. I am the person to be known by the Vedas. So all these karmakanda rituals that we have been used to doing so many rituals, right? For example, we do Vivaha Yajna. At the time of wedding, there is a fire sacrifice that happens, and during a Pitru Karya, that is like ancestors' death anniversary, we do some kind of a ritualistic Pinda Pradhan, etc. So all of this, Krishna is saying, all of this is me. It's all me. So how do we understand that? All of this is me means anybody who worships Krishna, he's actually understood to be performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So Krishna has already explained, Sarva Vedeshu Yat Punyam, Sarva Tirtheshu Yat Palam, Tat Palam Purusham Apnoti, Stutva Devam Janartanam. All the, Vedeshu Yajneshu Tapassu Chaiva, Daneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pradishtam, Atyeti Tarvam Sarvam Idam Viditva, Yogi Paramstana Vipoiti Chati. See, anybody who is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it's not by coincidence that we can chant. I mean, even to get the qualification to chant, if we are able to repeat this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on our tongue, it is Bhagavatam says that only a person, if somebody is able to repeat this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on the tongue, they have performed all the fire sacrifices in their past life. They have read all the Vedas in the past life. That is why they have become qualified to now chant the names of Krishna. Right? So there have been great acharyas like Madhavendra Puri, right? Who openly said, Sandhya Vandanam Bhadramastute. He said, Sandhya Vandana, my evening bath and rituals, I pay my obeisances unto you. And my morning bath and all the other ritualistic activities which I am supposed to be engaged in, I am paying obeisances to you. I have fixed only one process, to please Krishna. That is my only process for liberation. I mean, anybody can think anything about me, I don't care. He says that. So that is the pure devotional service. I mean, not to say that we have to reject or we should not stop doing this, but the idea is Shabda Brahmati Vartate. Shabda Brahmati Vartate means Shabda Brahman means Vedas. In the Vedas there are so many karmakanda. It's called Shabda Brahman. As somebody who has done pure devotional service in the past and has taken birth again, resuming his journey, right, spiritual journey, such a person, we see that he transcends above the ritualistic activities, just like Jadabharata. Jadabharata was in the previous life, he was King Bharat Maharaj, and then he became a deer, and then he was born in the family of Brahmana. But when he was being taught all the ritualistic Vedic sacrificial activities, he rejected. He said, I don't know anything. He acted like a dumb person. That is called Shabda Brahmati Vartate. I mean, going beyond the Karma Kanda. Because he is engaging in the topmost service. That is, always remembering Krishna. He's in that. Okay. So this chapter is all about that. Okay. Always, this chapter, if you have to summarize, if you ask me how to summarize the 9th chapter in one phrase, I would say Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Drudavrataha. That's all. That is the line. 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge is this. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Always chant the glories of Krishna. And a person who does that is Mahatma. Anybody can become a Mahatma. Simply by following the footsteps of Mahatma, we can also become Mahatma. By the mercy of the Mahatmas. Just like how Narada Muni, what was the qualification of Narada Muni? He's our spiritual master, isn't it? He's in the line, he's a great spiritual master of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And what was his qualification? What was he in the previous life? Anybody can say? What was Narada?
He was a Gandharva.
No, after that, next lifetime.
After that, he became a maidservant's son.
Yes, he was a son of a maidservant in the previous lifetime. So, son of a maidservant, and then he became Narada. Right, son of the maidservant. What is the process that he did? How did the transformation happen from being a son of a maidservant to Narada? What did he do? Can anybody say? What is it that he did?
He
He
ate
ate the remnants of
sadhus.
the Mahatmas.
Pure devotees.
He served the pure devotees and took their remnants.
Bhakti Vedantas.
Yes, he served the Bhakti Vedantas. He served these Mahatmas, what Krishna is talking about, right? These Mahatmas he served and he took their remnants. It's such a powerful process, it is said. Right? Remnants of the pure devotees. The dust of the lotus feet of the devotees is so pure. Okay, in fact, we are putting Gopi Chandan here. You know what is this? What is Gopi Chandan? Anybody knows what is this made up of?
It is a lotus feet, the
The
Lord.
Lotus
dust
feet.
of the
Dust
gopis
of
of
the
Vrindavan. The dust of the
Yeah.
gopis of Vrindavan.
It is coming from the Gopi Talab of Dwarka. Right? The place where they have left their bodies. Right? In the Dwarka nearby in Gujarat. Right? There's a place called Gopi Tala. So the mud from that Gopi Tala is taken and it is grinded into paste, and then we get this, and then we are applying that on our head. Not only, as Krishna is saying in Bhagavatam, he says that I keep the dust of my devotees on my face. Okay, he says that. Krishna is saying that. Right? So that is the power of the Mahatmas. That is the greatness of Mahatmas. Okay, let's go. Next one. Anybody wants to read this verse?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, you could scroll down.
Sorry.
पिताहम् अस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकारा ऋक्साम यजुर्एव च.
Okay.
Translation by Divine Krishna Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsir. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajur Vedas.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Pitaham yasya jagato. This is a very important verse. Devotees, please remember this. Right? We have the verse Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, right? Everybody sings that very famous verse. That is inspired by this verse. Pitaham asya jagato mata data pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara ruk yajur sama yevacha. Pita means father. Asya jagato, I am the father of the universe. Mata means Mata asya jagato means I am the mother. Krishna is the father. Krishna is the mother. Pitamaha, dhata. Dhata means supporter. Pitamaha means grandfather. He's saying, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the supporter, I am the grandfather, that is Lord Brahma. He is everything. Vedyam pavitram omkaraha. Vedyam means what is to be known. Okay, what is it that we are trying to know? Everybody is trying to research something. Okay, everybody is trying to find the truth, correct? In their own way. The scientists are trying to find the truth. The lawyers are trying to find the truth. Doctors are trying to find the truth. Scholars are trying to find the truth. The truth is the truth that is to be known. Vedyam. What everybody is trying to look for, that which is supposed to be known, Vedyam, is Krishna. Vedasya sarvair ahameva vedyam. Krishna says the same thing. Vedasya sarvair ahameva vedyo. I am that which is supposed to be known. And after you know that, there is nothing else that is remaining to be known. Because Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami, it is said, Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. Govinda is the Sarva Karana Karana. Means he is the cause of all the causes, root of all the roots. I mean, beyond Govinda there is no cause. We cannot ask, okay, from Krishna came the material world, then who did Krishna come from? Krishna did not come from anybody. Krishna is the origin of the universe. That is the end. That's it. There is no beginning of Krishna. Krishna did not come from something or some light or impersonal, nothing. From Krishna, everything came. Okay? Pavitram, that which purifies. Omkara, syllable Om. This is the second time Krishna is saying that he is the Omkar. Rik, Sama, Yajurevacha. The three Vedas. Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda. Generally, traditionally, Atharva Veda is not mentioned. Okay? Because Atharva Veda contains some black magic, Vashikarana, and some dark rituals are there in the generally in the Atharva Veda. So generally in a traditional way, when we say Vedas, we say 3 Veda. We don't say 4 Vedas. Okay, I mean, because that is not officially counted, even though we know that it is a part of the Vedas, the Atharva Veda. Okay. And okay, a question for all of you. Among the Vedas, Krishna says that I am some Veda. Which Veda did he say that? Here he's saying all the Vedas, but okay, he said among the Vedas I am
Samaveda.
Samaveda.
Vedanam Samavedosmi. You know, in the Samaveda, there are some chants. Okay, there's some musical chants. Very surprising to hear that they're very musically rendered chants. The Samaveda chants, Krishna is saying, I am the Samaveda. Okay. Now, let's go through this. Anybody wants to read this purport, please? Go through this purport. Yeah.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please go ahead, Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Perfect. By Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Perfect. This entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc., are nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhata means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcels of Krishna, but the creator, grandmother, and grandfather, etc., are also Krishna. Actually, any living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas, therefore, aim only towards Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step towards understanding Krishna. That subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is especially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om, called Pranava, is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of the 4 Vedas, Sama, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva, the Pranava or Omkara is very prominent, it is understood to be Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So, how many times did the word Krishna appear in this purport? So let's see that. 15 times. You can see this? 15 times. So, I'll tell you one story. When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, like Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, right? He had a magazine called The Harmonist. And if anybody used to submit any article about, into that magazine, he used to ask only one thing. He would ask, please count how many times the word Krishna came in the article. They'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, publish it. That's it. Don't think. Yes. So, this is so potent, okay? So this is so important. This literature, what we have is not ordinary literature. Right? It's Krishna conscious literature given by Prabhupada. It is making us Krishna conscious. Right? So this is the purpose, right? We have to always remember Krishna. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. Somehow or the other, force your mind to remember about Krishna. And in that, there is our good. So we should be able to see Krishna in everybody and everything. In our father, in our mother, all the motherly affection that we got, all the fatherly affection that we got is that of Krishna. It is Krishna's motherly affection, Krishna's fatherly affection towards us expressed through the living entities. So he's providing his love through the mother, through the father, like that. So all the love that we got from our grandfather, grandmother, all of this is the love that is coming from Krishna. So the simple thing is, we should be attached towards Krishna. We should be loving Krishna. That's it. Okay, we should try to love Krishna. Okay, like our own father, because he is the original father. He like our mother, right? Like our grandfather. So we should love Krishna, right? So yeah, let's go to the next verse. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi Nivasaha Sharanam Suhrut Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. Anybody want to read this? Shloka? Please repeat the shloka and the translation, and yeah, shloka and translation, please.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji.
please.
Bhagavad Gita 9.18. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrut Prabhavav Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here it says Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi. Gati means goal. So our goal is Krishna. Bharta means sustainer. Prabhu. We call the devotees as Prabhu. Actually, Prabhu means Lord. We are calling devotees Prabhu. We are trying to remember Krishna there. Okay, Prabhu is Lord. Sakshi, witness. Nivasaha, abode. Sharanam, refuge. Suhrut, the most intimate friend. Prabhavaha, creation. Pralaya, dissolution. Sthanam, ground. Nidhanam, resting place. Bijam, seed. Avyayam, imperishable. So in other words, he said, I am the goal. The goal of every living entity is to reach Krishna. The goal of the Vedas is to attain Krishna. The goal of every religious principle is to attain Krishna. He is the one who is sustaining. He is the master. He is the one who is witnessing our actions as Paramatma. And he is the abode. Right? That is the Nivasaha. Nivasa. He is the supreme abode. That is back to Godhead. That's Godhead. The refuge, Ashraya, Sharanam, is our refuge. Just like how Draupadi took refuge of Krishna. Like that, we should actively take refuge of Krishna. In every activity that we do, we should depend on Krishna. Actually, we say we should be independent, but real independence is to be dependent on Krishna. We should depend on Krishna. For every activity that we do, we should think that it's not me. Naham karta, hari karta. I have not done it. Okay, Lord has given me the strength to do it. So I depend on the Lord to do this activity. That is Sharanam. I am the creation and the annihilation. Even the creation and annihilation, Prabhava, Pralaya, both of them are Krishna. Sthanam, ground, basis of everything. Nidhanam, resting place. Bijam, the seed, Avyayam. So the imperishable, eternal seed. Why is Krishna saying seed? Let's try to understand. Okay, seed. Why does Krishna say, I am seed? What do you mean by seed? So a seed looks like this, right? So this is seed. So from a seed, a plant comes. Correct? And then it grows into a tree. So this material world is compared to a tree, inverted tree. Urdhvamulam adashakam. It should be, imagine this to be inverted, upside down. It's an upside down tree. So it's like this, okay, from Krishna, there is a tree that has come out. How many of you like gardening? So we are all a part of this tree. But we have to do gardening of this tree, but we should not grow this, we should cut this. Right? So Krishna is saying, take an axe. Okay, get an axe. So it says, Yadanudhyasina yukta karma grandhini bandhanam. We need to get an axe. Okay, here is an axe. Asina. Asina means a sharp axe. We need to get a sharp axe. And we have to cut this tree. This tree of material existence, okay, seed, Krishna is the bija. From him, all the universe is, this is one universe. And the clear explanation is given. Vedam say, Yascha Parnani, it says, each of the leaves is Parna, is each of them is a Vedas. So it is explained what is the fruits, what is the branches, everything is explained of this material existence. I mean, who understands this material tree? Yastam Veda sa Veda vich, Vedavit. If you understand this material tree of existence, then you are Vedavit. That means you have understood the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas, Vedavit, is to not to memorize, chant the Vedas like a parrot, right? That's not the purpose of Vedas. Even in a tape recorder can chant like that, correct? Vedavit means somebody who understands a material existence tree. We are here, somewhere here, we're jumping from one branch to the other branch, to the other branch, to the other branch. There are some lower branches, there are some higher branches. So we're going up and down like a bird within this, okay? That's not the purpose, to go around the tree. I mean, we're trying to put a nest here, 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 everywhere. We have got so many nests now. Okay, now it's time to cut this tree. Okay, so and Krishna is the seed. Aham bija pradapita. So he is a seed from which the material universes, all the universes are coming from him. Okay, so he's everything. I mean, from him everything is coming, and then we have to just remember this. This is very important. Let's see this. One who does not know Krishna is misled. And his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. We see so many people who are into so-called spiritual path. They think that they are making progress. But Prabhupada is saying their progress is either partial progress. That means they come to some extent. Maybe next lifetime they'll get some other chance. Maybe, for example, they're flying from, those so-called spiritualists, they're flying from this branch here to this branch. But it's not cutting the tree, okay? Coming from one branch to other is not cutting the tree. It is partial or it is hallucinatory. Hallucination means I think that something is happening, but there is nothing that is happening. Nothing is going to happen. Unless we worship Krishna, we cannot cut this material tree and we cannot go to the real tree of existence. There is a real tree here, which is the Golok Vrindavana, spiritual world. This is a reflection. What we are seeing is a reflection. Everything, all the relationships that we are seeing, father, mother, children, friend, my best friend, my lover, all of this is it's a reflection of the reality. The reality is here in the Krishna Loka. What we are seeing is it's a concocted or a hallucination kind of a thing. Okay, so that's why we cannot get any happiness out of the relationships in this material world, because they are simply partial reflection. So without knowing Krishna, it is simply hallucination. Krishna also said, na, mogasa moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha. Baffled. Moga means baffled. Without Krishna, everything, our religious rituals, our culture of knowledge, everything is baffled. There's no use of anything. Whatever we may do, dhyana, jnana, karma, every activity is baffled if we don't understand Krishna. There are many who make their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of strict repetitive performances, they enter into Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka. But these lokas are creations of Krishna, simultaneously Krishna but not Krishna. They are all Krishna's energy, but it is not Krishna directly. So they are serving Krishna as a step forward in the realization of Krishna. Such planets. So they're just making some progress, but that's not real progress. There's a very nice example that Prabhupada is saying here, okay? For example, if there's a possibility to go to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by the staircase step by step? Right? So here, there's a very big building, okay? So here is a big building. Okay. So here is a building. It's a skyscraper building. Okay, let us say there are some 21 floors. And we are here. So you can take the stairs and walk up 21 floors or 200 floors, or you can take the elevator. You take the elevator and it is going to go straight, right? Like the Twin Towers of Malaysia. It will go straight, or the Eiffel Tower. It will take you from here to here in one moment. Why don't you take the lift? That's what Prabhupada is asking. Bhakti Yoga, devotional service is like a lift. So if you're worshipping, if you're making worship of the self, Ahangropasana, monism, I am God. If you're worshipping the demigods, right, worshipping the Vishwarupa, Dhyana, all the secondary processes, there is some progress going on. It is partial. I mean, we made it from, from first floor. It is like, in this lifetime, I came till 10th floor or, 5th floor or something like that. Right now, I'm in the 6th floor, 7th floor. Some progress is happening. That's it. But Prabhupada is saying, why don't you just enter into the lift? Just take the lift. You'll be lifted in a moment. In this lifetime itself, we can go back to God. Right? So there is no risk in this process. Bhakti Yoga process is direct, straightforward. Directly we go to Krishna. Here if we go like this is like a snakes and ladder. So you played snakes and ladders. There's so many snakes in between. Now by mistake you come to a snake and you'll come back to two. Why should we go through this? Lord Brahma says, if somebody is very religious for 100 lifetimes, if you are religious for 100 lifetimes, you can attain Lord Brahma, Brahmaloka. And if you are religious in the Brahmaloka for many, many hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, from there you can go to Shivaloka. And there when you are religious, when you do Krishna consciousness for many, 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 many lifetimes, you can go to Krishna. Like this. This is given in the Bhagavatam. But it says, instead of undergoing some hundreds of lifetimes here, some 500 lifetimes here, or 200 lifetimes, 800 lifetimes here, in this very lifetime, if you do devotional service, you can go straight back to home, back to Godhead. Directly to Vaikuntha. Directly to Golok Vrindavan, not in Vaikuntha. We are so lucky we are following the Raga Marga given by our acharyas, so we can go straight to Krishna. We don't have to go through this partial process, right? So there's some people who say that you worship anybody, you will go there. Yatomat tatopat. You worship and you will go to the same. You worship anybody, you will go there. Actually, it is partially correct. It is not 100% wrong, nor it is 100% correct. It is partially correct because you are making some progress. You are worshipping the demigods, you are coming from 5 to 6. Maharloka, you came to Maharloka. After many lifetimes, you came to Brahmaloka. After many lifetimes, you came to Shivaloka. So there is some progress that's happening. So partially correct. But you are not come to the final destination. The final destination is not coming by the worship of the demigods. The final destination comes by the worship of Krishna. You can go straight to Krishna by worshipping Krishna. Maam upeti tu kaunteya dukkalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti samsiddhi haritoshanam. So sorry, I'm mixing up some shlokas. So it says, if you take to Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorchana. Maapupeti tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So there are different lokas. This morning we had this verse. We have different lokas, like the demigod lokas. There are many demigod lokas here, okay? Intermediary steps. So they are all part of the material world. If you want to stay back in the material world, you can, all of this, going round and round like what do you say? It's like a giant wheel going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what is going on right now, up and down. But Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. If we surrender to Krishna, there is no more birth and death. Straight we go out of the material world into the spiritual world directly to Krishna. Okay? That's about it, devotees. Let's go see another one. Anybody wants to read this verse? Some devotees.
Oh, Prabhuji, if anybody doesn't turn up, then I'll read.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Who wants to read? Jayanti Mataji wants to read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
तपाम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णामृत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहमर्जुन. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Purport.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Read the purport.
Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During the summer season, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky, and then during the rainy season, he gives an unceasing torrent of rain. The energies, the energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna, and Krishna meets us at the end as death. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna there is no distinction between matter and spirit, or in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna is in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna, and his pastimes in Vrindavana as 200 Shyama Sundara playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes. So it's a very nice. See, matter, spirit, everything is Krishna. The gigantic universal form. Whatever we are seeing. Bahi Narsimha, Hridaya Narsimha. Antar Bahischa Narayana. Supreme Lord is present outside and within us also. Okay, everything is Him. His expansions, His energy. So everything is His manifestation. And his original pastimes of Vrindavana as the 200 is Sham Sundara. So that is his original form. God's original form is Krishna. God is Krishna himself. I'm sorry. God himself is Krishna. Okay. When you say God, everybody when they are saying we worship God, they're worshipping Krishna knowingly, unknowingly. Okay. And what is his original form is 200 Shama Sundara form with a flute with him. He has got a flute. Right? It is explained in the Brahma Samhita how he is having a peacock feather and a flute, and he's playing that, and he's doing all of these pastimes in Vrindavana. He's always blissful. Okay, he has got nothing to do in Vrindavana. He's not doing any activities. He's not going to the factory like Prabhupada says. He's not going to an office for work. He's got no duty to perform at all. Okay. Just by his willing only, his energies are, running the complete universes. All the universes are being run. So our duty is, from this, we have to get the information that Krishna is everything. All the religious activities is Krishna. This is Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge. We have to take a hint from here and solidify our devotional service. We have to improve our commitment towards Krishna. Our devotional service, we have to try to improve it. The ideal goal is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantasya Druda Vrataha. That is the ideal goal of the Mahatmas. We are trying to follow the Mahatmas. So ideally, we should be able to think about Krishna every moment. Every moment, that's Krishna's experience. If you are able to come to a position where, like Haridas Thakur, you are able to think about Krishna every moment. Haridas Thakur used to chant 22 rounds, 22 hours a day. But it is practically not possible. Okay, we can chant maybe 64 rounds a day or maybe 120 rounds a day, but every day, every time we cannot be chanting. That's not possible. That is why our acharyas have designed the system in this way. What they have done is, starting from early morning, this deity service. We have to serve the deities. Prabhupada is writing in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3 canto, That deity worship is compulsory. Bookish knowledge does not help somebody to progress in Krishna consciousness. So what we are learning is bookish knowledge. Bookish knowledge does not mean progress. The real practical thing is to serve with our hands, legs, feet, all of our senses. We have to serve Krishna. We have to engage in the devotional service, right? That is worship of the deity form of the Lord. Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all of this, it's a complete process that Prabhupada has given. Rising early in the morning, doing the Mangalartika. So that means Prabhupada says, every household should have deities in their homes, or at least photo of Krishna, at least photo of Guru and Gauranga. They should have photo of Prabhupada, they should have photo of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gaur Nitai. They should have photo, at least. And they should be, all the members in the house should be engaged in the service of the Lord. That's all the time. I mean, how much ever time possible, everybody should be coming and doing some service to the Lord in the deity altar. That is how we are supposed, that is called practically doing Krishna consciousness. This is theoretically, we are reading books, jnana. Need vijnana. Vijnana is when you do deity worship, when you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are supposed to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada says, if you chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then we will qualify to become what? Anybody can guess? After chanting 16 rounds, we'll get qualified to become what? Human being. He says, we will first of all become a human being. First we will become a human. First we will become a human being, then we will become a devotee. Right? So that is the thing. Prabhupada is saying, if we chant unless one chants 16 rounds, Prabhupada is saying one cannot be a human being at all. One is not a human being. One is not in the human platform yet. So first we have to come to the human platform, then to the spiritual platform. Okay, so please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra beginning with, but don't limit yourself to only that. It is not sustainable to only chant and do nothing else. It has to be supplemented with the other activities like serving the deity form of the Lord, etc. Right? And offering to the Lord, having prasadam, taking the association of the devotees, going to the temple, right? Going to places of pilgrimage at least once a year. Prabhupada says, at least once a year you should go. At least once a year you should go to Mayapur or Vrindavan. Compulsory. You must go. Once a year. You should plan. Take out time, go to Mayapur or Vrindavan once a year at least. That depends upon later, at least once. That is compulsory. We have to go, take association of the Sadhu Mahatmas. Again, Sadhu Mahatmas means we say pure devotees. We should take association of the pure devotees there. It's not that we are going for a trip or a tour. That let me go and see everything. No, it's not for enjoyment we are going there, right? We're going there for taking association of pure devotees. We go there and we associate with pure devotees, hear from Sadhu Mahatmas, great Sadhus Mahatmas. For example, if you go to Mayapur, you should hear from the Bhagavatam lectures, you should hear from His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj, like that. Okay, that is how we will become purified. We should take association. Okay, this is the process. Okay, devotees, I think we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to say something? Please, yeah. I want to hear from you now. Okay, I've spoken enough. Now, up to you. I will open the forum for everybody. Please share your realizations. What is it that you are realizing? Okay, 9th chapter, you're seeing this. There's so many deep verses here, okay, going on, a lot of discussion. Krishna is saying, I'm everything. He's saying, I am the Vedas, I am the father, I am the mother, I am your best friend, I am your grandfather. He's saying everything, I am everything. So what is your realization of when you hear all of this? What do you feel? I want to hear from you. Or you want to add something? Yes, please go ahead and speak.
Here, we are getting a direction, Prabhuji. He is giving us a proper direction, and advising us. We have a free will, of course. So we better take his because he is our well-wisher, and we have to follow him. Otherwise, we are lost, finished. We are digging our own what is that cycle, giant wheel. We are sitting. And one more thing, Prabhuji, you said 16 rounds to become a human being. And to actually, just 16 rounds of chanting is not enough, Prabhuji. In addition to that, we have to work on our negative qualities. We have to get rid of all that lust, anger, greed, envy, and there are many more. Actually, yesterday, Ramchandra Prabhuji was saying that 20 negative qualities which we have to completely cleanse ourselves of all that. And then only the devotion that we perform is actual devotional service. Otherwise, we are it's a mock, or you call a concoction or mental concoction. So to become to qualify as a devotee also, we have to free ourselves from all those negative qualities in addition to. So it is a journey, we have to take that journey, Prabhuji. Thank you
Yes.
very much, Prabhuji, for
Thank you.
this.
Thank you for adding your points. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to say? Thank you, Mataji. Karesh Prabhu, want to say something? What do you think? Yeah. What is your realization so far? What we are hearing?
He is supreme, he is ultimate.
Yeah. Yes, Prince. Thank you. Thank you for adding.
He is ultimate. I
Yes.
mean, nothing more than that. It's been proved. And
Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sumantra Mataji, would you like to add something?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Like when you were asking us who, the Bhishma Panchaka, this thing, I'll share a pastime with Guru Maharaj. In the beginning, Prabhuji, when we, for 1 year, I and Prabhu were in Mayapur when we did this. One second. So 1 year when we were there, the time the rush never used to be so much, and the Bhishma Panchaka used to be done in the Gada building. Morning, evening, the prasadam used to be served there. Guru Maharaj used to be there. And he used to be taking prasad with the devotees. So Prabhuji, on the last day, when we break the fast, Guru Maharaj used to give us a feast, and he used to serve. And when the feast got over, then Guru Maharaj used to stand near the door with his chadar, near the exist, with his chadar, and whatever the devotee wanted could drop in his chadar. Like there was a Bengali Mataji who usually used to bring Ganges water for Guru Maharaj most of the time. And she came from very, very humble background. So this Mataji, she had bought a whole handful of coins and she dropped it into Guru Maharaj's chadar. And Guru Maharaj was aware of this thing. So he said, Mataji, I mean, so much of this thing. And she had tears in her eyes. And but lovingly, Guru Maharaj accepted all that. And then he put his hand in the chadar and he just took a pile of things and gave it to her. I mean, and she was crying. And she said, no, like, I cannot accept this. He says, no. Guru Maharaj said, I have accepted what you've given. But as a guru, I can give you in this thing. And Prabhu, like, it was, I mean, like, you think about it, it was, like the scene between Guru Maharaj and her, like, like it was like a father, like a mother father and a guru disciple. Like, like when you recollect it, it is, I mean, when I'm telling you, maybe it doesn't sound so much, but when you're actually there, and I think that year when I did the Bhishma Panchaka, that was one of the easiest time when I could do the fasting. Like Kunti Mataji was saying it was very easy. The other Mataji was saying it was easy. But this time I was really feeling very, very tough doing and especially on the last day, I had got tired of eating all the potatoes. This thing, I was literally like, the Lord has been so kind that it was just 4 days. I was literally breaking up and saying I couldn't fast. So, with Guru Maharaj, when you're doing anything, any task, it becomes very, very easy. I mean, that year, I think, that is how I got started doing Bhishma Panchaka. It was one of the best doing it in Mayapur with Guru Maharaj. So thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. If you have the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, everything
Yeah,
becomes easy.
when it was one of and the Gada building. So Prabhu, now the Mayapur has become so crowded that like you could, and Guru Maharaj used to walk up and down with feeding, like literally feeding everybody.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you so
you,
much.
Prabhu.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Mataji. Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees. So thank you very much for joining. So I didn't hear from some of you. Hare Krishna. Lakshit Prabhu. Tadavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. How are you? Okay.
I'm good, Prabhuji. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What class are you studying now?
I'm studying 8th grade now.
Very good. Are you chanting Hare Krishna daily?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, thank you very much for joining. Sumant